Oh my gosh, my tongue is like, it's like swelling
This
up.
is actually messed up a little bit.
Oh my
Here,
God.
we're pulling out the...
Oh, that actually helps.
Yeah.
That actually helps a lot.
Welcome to Hot 1 or 2, presented to you by Southern College of Optometry. I am currently joined by Kim Pham.
Hi.
Kim Pham hails from Alhambra, California. She graduated from Cal Poly SLO with a major of Biochem. She currently serves as class president for the class of 2026.
How are you on a scale from amateur to spice queen when it comes to spice tolerance?
I think I'm like right down the middle. I feel like I was a little bit better because my dad is like a hot sauce, like pepper fanatic.
Yeah.
So he got me going, but I've just like fallen off a little bit. So I'm excited to see where I kind of fall in this.
So it's in your blood.
Hopefully.
Alright.
I'm hoping it's still there.
Alright. Fingers crossed,
Uh-huh.
fingers crossed.
Cheers.
I like that sauce a lot, actually. Yeah. So out of all medical professions and other careers, for that matter, why did you choose optometry?
Well, I think as like a lot of pre-optometry students do, they kind of, I mean, people that don't know for sure what they want to do, they'll kind of explore a little bit. And I've had glasses or contact lenses since I was in the second grade, but I really became solidified in my decision to do optometry in college when I was able to shadow. What I really loved seeing was, you know, most people are seeing their optometrist year after year, so you're really building such a great like relationship. And even like past the eye exam, the patients were coming in and they were talking about their families, like things that were going on in their lives, because the doctors that they were seeing really got to know them as people. And I just had the best time like shadowing and teching for the doctors that I was able to work under. So I was just really inspired by seeing them and how they interact with patients, and I'm hoping to do that in the future. Yeah.
Have you always wanted to be in a medical profession, or was there always a side that was like, maybe I might do like biochem research or anything like that?
I think I always knew that I wanted to be somewhere in healthcare, but what was important for me going into college was to really allow myself the opportunity to explore different things. So I was able to research while I was at Cal Poly, and that was really amazing. I mean, it was truly like one of the best experiences that I had at SLO, but you know, it was something that I really loved, but I think I knew that there was something out there that I would like love more. Do you want a fan?
Yeah, I'll actually take a fan because it's like...
It's funny because like on the splash trip that I went on, I was like known as the girl with like the fan just carried
Really?
around.
Uh-huh.
Because it was like so humid there. I mean, I went to Belize like on my trip. So I was just like, anytime that I had to like just sit, or even like when I was just like waiting around for the next patient to come through, I would like be fanning myself. And there are probably so many pictures on the Splash album of me just like holding this
Just holding a
fan.
fan.
You know what's like harder about these is on the other show, they'll just like take a little bite and then we're
But you
we
kind
got,
of
like, a
have
full-
to,
yeah.
you have to dedicate, you know, you have to go
Alright, well.
100%.
You got it.
There's the vinegar. Coming out from the West Coast, coming from California, I'm sure moving to Memphis has come with its own share of differences. I was wondering, has there been anything to you moving from out here or out there to here? Any big culture shocks that you've experienced?
That's a good question. You know, okay, when I think of it initially, I actually think of like how much more water Memphis has than California. I'm not even joking.
In
Like,
what sort? In what sort?
So, if you've ever been, so I'm from basically like Los Angeles County, and I mean California, we've been in a drought for like years and years. So, I like my lawn at home is basically like dirt, and that's the same with like my neighbors. Like it's just not it's not green. Like California's not very like green.
Yeah.
Taking like really short showers. Like everything is like pretty brown. I mean, you know. Oh, I'm like
Appetizing.
I'm giving it like a bad advertisement for LA, but I love it, of course. But the thing that I was like in shock about coming here is like driving down like, I don't know, like the 240 or something like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, all of the leaves are like so green here.
Yeah.
And there were just like bodies of water, like random, like I don't
Like a lake or
like
a
a lake.
pond or
like a lake just chilling on the side of the highway. I was like, guys, there's so much water here that's crazy. And then the other people, because like SEO has so many people coming from like different areas of the country,
Right.
and like even, I mean, like you have some Canadian students, but anyways, like people that are coming from like all different walks of life, all like different places. Thought it was crazy. Like, what is she talking about? Like, she's just getting so excited over these like green like leaves and like this water. I'd say the food for sure, but like that's kind of one of my favorite things to explore, like Memphis barbecue,
Of course.
or any like just like Memphis spots. Like I will say taco, like LA is kind of known for like tacos, but tacos and ganas in Memphis definitely.
That's
like,
what I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Because like I know LA has such a big like, or California in general has such a big food, you know, market.
Yeah.
How does Memphis stack up to things you've had if there's a one-to-one comparison?
I'd say I haven't tried like a ton here, but the ones I have, like Tacos and Ganas just has a special place in my heart, as well as a lot of other students. So well deserved, I think. I wouldn't say like it reminds me of home, but it's just like a solid taco.
Yeah,
I can't.
It's just a good taco. Can't complain.
Great taco.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Cheers.
Yeah.
Actually, I really like that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna let it intercept you hit me in the face a little bit.
No, when it tickles your throat a little bit, that's when you know. I think that's what's gonna happen with the rest of these.
No, I think it's a oh my god. What? I think it's a combination of me like. No, that's what it is. That's like the show, right? It's a combination of talking.
Yeah, and then it just makes it worse and worse and worse. But we're gonna work through it. So we cycled through so many different professors, each with their own unique personalities and teaching styles. Which one would you say has had the biggest impact on your academic career, positive or negative?
Or negative. Just
add a little bit of spice to the questionnaire.
Well, I'll keep it sweet. I'll go with the positive.
Okay.
I mean, I like love Dr. Leibowitz.
Yeah.
I think you agree.
The
Like,
mom of
you
SEO.
love Dr. Leibowitz.
Absolutely.
But I think like what I love about her is, I mean, she has high expectations for us because like at the end of the 4 years, like we're gonna be doctors.
Absolutely.
But she also considers that like we're like human beings and just like people. I'm just like people, right? At the end of the day, so we have things like going on, or like we have bad days happening as well. And she'll like really be like your mom to like root for you and support you, and like if you are struggling, like if just like kind of like setting out like maybe like what needs to happen next. And I don't know, like she's just so fun. Like I love Dr. Lewis. I love like her stories in class, like in the middle of learning about like accommodative like amplitude or something. I don't know, just random like theory things. So yeah, I go with Dr. Lewis.
Good answer. I think she'd like that answer too, in all honesty. Ready for this?
No, I'm kind of nervous. Because that one, like, as I was talking, it like really. I mean, it's
we have the sniffles. We got the sniffles.
I told you that I sniffle a lot. Okay, when I'm ready.
All right. Switching the wrong one.
I know. That one was like, you know them. don't know anything about boxing, but like that punch that's like you
Like the 1-2.
like the 1-2.
Yeah.
That was the 1-2. Like it
Yeah.
it hit like a little bit, and you're like, oh.
That was like a train.
Yeah, it's like. Oh my gosh. Have you drank the water at all?
I sipped a little bit. I said I'm trying to mesh with you at the very least. So I'm here suffering right there with you. So here's what I want from you, Kim. I want you to rank these 5 classes from best to worst. Optics, theory and methods, ocular anatomy, ESP, and ocular motility. And this can be based on teacher, experience, course.
Okay. Number 1, optics. I think I'm just like an optics girly, and I.
Optics, I've heard that before.
Optics, because I think I like math and I like optics. I think everyone kind of just comes in and they like different subjects based on. I was like,
This is actually messed up a little bit.
Oh my god.
Here, we're pulling out the.
Oh, that actually helps.
Yeah?
That actually helps a lot.
Yeah, we're rocking.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I like optics because I like learning the math behind it, and like knowing that down the line some very smart like optics physicist or / like optometrist way back like figured it out. Like, oh, like this stuff is gonna work, like what we do.
Yeah, like a law.
Yeah, like this is like the brains behind like what we do every day. So I think it's cool. I also think like Dr. Jackson does like a phenomenal job. I was teaching that class. Like amazing. Because I think he just like spells it out so well, and he really like encourages that like you might not like with the rats and stuff, which I remember I was like so nervous about going in. But I mean, I think it was like the first day we had like a rat.
It was the first day of school, exactly.
It was like we just got here.
The 1-2 of optometry
yeah.
school.
But I really like came to appreciate it because it really emphasizes like you might not get it like at first. You might. And then he has the team assignments and like the team rats to kind of show like even if you might not get it, the person who might, like you guys can work together and like really figure it out. And like he's there as a resource, but it's kind of one of those things of like you guys got it. Like I know you guys got it. I'd say number 2 is theory. 1 is my girl, Dr. Leibowitz.
That's it, Dr. Theory.
And then I mean like 2, we like really everything we learn like we will apply to a patient that we see down the line. So I think it's like that class where like everything like comes together. Oh, now it's getting hard. This is actually really scary.
Yep.
But also I wanna put out that like all these teachers are fantastic.
Exactly.
Just putting that out there.
Just as a baseline, all these teachers are wonderful people in their own right.
Yeah. I think I'll actually say ocular anatomy.
Interesting. Yeah.
I mean, like before I came to optometry school, I really didn't understand like anything in terms of ocular anatomy because I was like, oh, we have an iris and a pupil, and we got a retina.
The eyeball, yeah.
Yeah, okay, just like the
eyeball.
general like aspects. But like the fact that we could like delve so deep into it, I was like, oh my gosh, like there's so much more that like we have to know, and it was cool to like have kind of that like very eyeball centered class coming in, because I was like, oh, like this is like we're learning about the eyeball. I signed up to learn about the eyeball and we're doing it. Next is ESP.
Interesting.
Is that kind of, I think
that might be a little bit of a hot take. Wow. All right.
But like I don't know. That's really hard because I really did enjoy like all of these classes. I think. Okay. But why I put VSP above ocular motility. One, I think Dr. Sistrick is a sweetie. Like
Absolutely, she's
she's
best.
amazing.
That's a girl
like
right
making
there.
sure we're eating our veggies. Like I
Who
think
cares?
she's awesome. But I think it's hard like going through VSP because you're like, whoa, like there's so much material. And like it is also one of those classes where you're like, what is this gonna look like when there's like a patient in my chair? And Dr. Sistrick will like remind us like, say if someone has like retinitis pigmentosa, like this is kind of like what you have to look out for. But I think I appreciate it because there's just like so much time and like care that she puts into that class and like making sure we like know as much as we can as like eye care professionals coming out. And also like, maybe I didn't think that like everything was like, oh my gosh, I love this, but I thought that there were a lot of cool things in VSP that I was like, oh, like that's awesome. Like why the moon looks bigger when it's like closer to the horizon. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Like I kind of like knew a little bit of that, but like to go with like the reasoning and stuff like that, I was like, oh, like that's how our like eyes and like mind, like that connection works. So I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, last is ocular motility. I thought it was so interesting, and I want to say that Dr. Schnell, I just defend myself. Otherwise, Dr. Schnell's gonna like hate me. But I think it was like so incredibly well taught. Like I loved all like the lectures because I think she's like so captivating as a speaker. It was hard because we didn't have it very often, so it was hard to like really like delve into it. And it was just something that like I probably could have, it was one of those things where I just like didn't think about it as much as the other classes because the other ones are like heavy hitter classes when we take them.
Like almost every day or every other day.
Yeah. So I think it's hard because like I thought it was really interesting. I just didn't think about it throughout the semester as often. So that's really the only reason. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was
That's
great.
a very well political answer, And Dr. Schnell should be pleased with that.
She's gonna go up to the like, I was gonna say she's like, see, this is why we need more credit hours for ocular motility.
Hey, she might get more days. She might get Monday, Wednesday, Friday instead.
You ready?
You ready for the final question?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go.
These are so long, but
Yep.
you know what I was about to say? I was literally about to say that one is not that bad, and I think it's the best tasting sauce out of these three.
No.
And then it just like went down my throat.
It tastes like this is.
Oh my god. Oh.
We had someone review this right beforehand, and they said it wasn't that bad.
Oh my god. He said it was like.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's okay, no shame.
When you're talking about the culture shock of being in California,
Mm-hmm.
I will say like another big plus is
It's what?
cookout.
Cookout.
Because there's one red bars that's cool, and I love their milkshakes. And they just have such a great like deal on those trays. Oh my gosh.
Well,
It doesn't stop.
we're over that final hump, Kim. We're almost at the finish line. So, Kimmy, there are 24 different optometry schools in the United States, each with their own wonderful pros and cons. What was your final decider when choosing SCO?
Okay. So I have three different. So like when I was going on my interviews, like I was like thinking about everything. I was like, was the area, like cost of the school, like faculty, kind of just like the school feel. Oh my god. Ah! I was like really looking at like all of those things.
Yeah.
I need to go fishing for an ice cube. Hold on.
Go for it. You're a champ.
And actually I really like checked all my boxes. But one, it was an interview. I thought they were just like very intentional about wanting to get to know you. And a person aside from like his test scores and GPA and what you did in undergrad. Like, yes, they consider that. The interview that you have at first is a closed file, which is like pretty cool because like everything they're like, we're not going to consider that. Like, we want to see who you are as a person, because at the end of the day, like, the patient is not going to know what school you came from unless you mention it, how you did in BSP, right? They want to know like how you are as like a doctor and how you like present yourself, which I think is really important. And like SEO thinks about that. Yeah, you do that.
Yeah.
So I think that like that was really cool, and like everyone that I met there was so friendly and so amazing, and just like made me feel really welcome, even though like people interviewing hadn't even committed, like they didn't even know where they were gonna end up. Two, like cost of living and just like cost in general. I thought that was really important. And okay, this is so silly, but I think the day after, or the meal after I had my interview, we like walked to Los Camales. Yeah, me and my dad, I went there, and it was a really solid meal that was only $25, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm from LA.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh, we had so much food. We had like
For $25.
for $25. And their chips and salsa and their little like sauce that they give you. I don't know what it's called. It's not like a queso, but it's like close enough that I'll call it one. Like, that's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
and I had it and I was like, oh, this place is so great. It was literally like Los Camales.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, now we're gonna get really deep. So
on
my Uber ride to the airport back, my Uber driver like had a flat tire that like basically went completely flat on the way to the airport. Like we didn't make it to the airport, or we weren't even trying to go to the airport. We were trying to go to Gus's Fried Chicken.
Very different.
So she didn't like know what was going on, and my dad was trying to help her, and just like randomly, these two very kind men just stop in the middle of the road and like come to her and like help her out. Which, like, I'm sure in other cities and in other places, people do. People are very nice. Like, people out there are very kind.
Compared to California.
Yeah. But, like, I just saw that, and they were both, I think they had, like, a auto mechanic shop, like, down the road. Oh, no. Here you go.
My bad.
No, they had, like, one of those, like big car jack, like, things. And they, like, helped out this woman and was like, yeah, like, don't worry about it. Just, like, whenever you get the chance, take it down the road and we'll help you get like a new tire. And I was like, that is just so sweet. And like, I just got a lot of meaning out of that, because I was like, you know, like, I knew that like Memphis had a bad rap, but in that moment I was like, you know, even if it does have a bad rap, like, there are really good people here. And like, obviously this woman is just an example of like someone who like has such a kind heart. And just needs like a little bit of help. And like, obviously I'm not someone that she's gonna call to change her tire.
Sure.
But like, as an example, I was like, you know, like, people in the city are really great, just really need some help. And if I can be someone who can like help out in any way by like being at the eye center or like doing service that SEO does, I was like, that's really cool, and I want to be part of that. So those 3 reasons, and now I'm here at SEO.
Hey, that's great. We're happy to have you. Kimmy Pham, you've conquered all 5 chicken nuggets. You're a reigning champ, first guest on the demo show.
Yay!
Anything you want to tell the audience out there? Anybody who might be wanting to come to SEO?
Yeah, I mean, again, my name is Kim. I've had a wonderful time answering these questions with the JR, eating these chicken nuggets in Memphis. I'm so excited to be attending SEO and studying optometry. I really like one of the best decisions I've made. And I've had so much fun doing this. Yay!
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
That was fun.
That was good. That was good.